Hello, and welcome to another episode of Why Do You Own That? And you probably saw it in the title, but today I will be talking about Kevin Smith's Jersey Girl. Now, for a lot of people that may be around my age and are a Kevin Smith fan, you probably owned Jersey Girl at one point. This was Kevin Smith coming out of his View Askew-averse phase, saying that he's going to change things up. He's going to move on to a different level of his filmmaking. And he tried, making a mostly generic comedy rom-com that had the infamy of featuring Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck. Just speaking of the movie, I think it's fine. It's not offensive in any way. It's not particularly memorable. I do think Ben Affleck is pretty wooden in this, in which, oftentimes in movies he is kind of like that. I find that the romance in the film is definitely that kind of, pixie dream girl, where you have Liv Tyler playing a young woman who is, really sexually forward and gets Ben Affleck to come out of his shell, and there's a cute kid and everything like that. There is a really good performance from George Carlin in this movie, and that's probably the thing I remember the most about it. And why do I own it then, after all of that? If it's just okay, I'm not a completionist, really, with any director, because if there's a movie of theirs that I do not like, I will not own it. I only have so much shelf space in the back there. So why do I own this film? Well, that's because probably one of the reasons that I fell in love with Kevin Smith, other than just, Clerks and Mallrats, who at the time, I remember being a teenager, no other filmmaker was like that. It was also his voice, that I like to hear him talk. I remember the first time I watched Clerks, I then listened to the commentary track with my friend in his basement. And I think it's those commentary tracks and the interviews and the appearances on talk shows that really made Kevin Smith fans. And this DVD has a legendary commentary track with Ben Affleck and Kevin Smith. The thing about Ben Affleck is, he's a really funny guy. And unfortunately, he's not really allowed himself to be that person in most of the movie appearances that he's in, unless you count something like Surviving Christmas. But on the commentary, he and Kevin Smith, they have a great chemistry. Kevin Smith spends 25% of the beginning of the track complaining about a gossip columnist in the UK. It's just really laugh out loud funny. And there's also just a talk between Kevin Smith and Ben Affleck of them just chit-chatting it out, where at one point Ben Affleck goes on a rant about how can Kevin Smith continue to make all of these products with his face on them. Do his fans actually want that?
Tell the fucking people how you're just taking their hard-earned shekels to buy your fucking asinine Jay and Bob t-shirts and shit, selling them fucking bookends with your visage on them.
No complaints.
Over the internet, you're like 85, it's porcelain. You're like the fucking QVC. You get on the TV and you're like, folks, you might think this is $119. No, we can get you the last Jay and Bob bookshelf.
What you seem to forget conveniently in a situation like this is I only create the merchandise that people ask me to create. So I'm only giving them what they want.
Just giving me bad people.
And I also remember,
we need another t-shirt with your face on it.
Just two friends at a particular point in their life just, ribbing each other. So maybe I will not watch Jersey Girl the movie that often, but I do keep going back to that commentary and that little featurette of Kevin Smith and Ben Affleck just ribbing each other for the entire running time of this film. Now, would I be interested in the director's cut of this film? It's supposedly 45 minutes longer that I know Kevin Smith recently showed at his Smodcastle. Indeed, I would. I'd like to see a more fully formed vision of what he originally intended this film to be. I don't think I would like it that much more, but I still want to see it. I'm still a Kevin Smith fan, especially, I'm a Kevin Smith fan of, around this time. New movies, not really interested into his pot, phase, and I think that his work and even his, podcast appearances suffered because of that. But this is the prime of him, and I just love listening to him, love having fun with him as well. This also features his appearances on The Tonight Show. Yes, that is right. Kevin Smith was so kind of in the popular consciousness around this time. He appeared multiple times on The Tonight Show in segments where he would go see kind of like roadside attractions. And they're included on this disc. So that's why I have Jersey Girl on DVD, and I'm not getting rid of it. If you would like more Kevin Smith talk, and also about all movies, check out the Important Cinema Club podcast, a podcast that I do with Will Sloan every week, where we cover all sorts of subject. If you become a Patreon subscriber, we have talked many a times about Kevin Smith's movies, including Jersey Girl, which we dedicated a whole episode to. And don't forget to like and subscribe this YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.